English Boost podcast from Speak English Journey.
Welcome back, English learners, to another absolutely packed episode of Speak English Journey. I'm James, and I'm thrilled to be here with my brilliant co-hosts, the wonderful Rose, and our fantastic new addition, Mark.
And I'm Rose. It's fantastic to be back and even better to have Mark joining us today. This is going to be a super insightful conversation.
Thanks for having me, James and Rose. I'm Mark, and I'm really excited to delve into today's crucial topic with you all and our listeners.
Absolutely, Mark. Today, we're tripling down on a fundamental skill for all of life's pursuits, especially for mastering English. Self-discipline for success, and more specifically, how to build self-discipline. It's the engine that drives consistency and progress.
That's right. We'll be sharing a wealth of practical strategies, relatable analogies, and professional insights that you can apply immediately to boost your self-discipline and ultimately reach your language learning goals faster.
And we'll even throw in a little travel inspiration at the end, showing how a change of scenery can sometimes be the ultimate discipline booster.
So, Rose, Mark, when we talk about self-discipline, what's the first thing that springs to mind for each of you?
For me, it's about consistency and staying focused, even when motivation isn't at its peak. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's like Abraham Lincoln said, discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most.
That's a perfect quote, Rose. For me, it immediately brings to mind the pain of discipline is far less than the pain of regret. Self-discipline is about building resilience, the ability to bounce back and keep going, especially in the face of challenges. It's about showing up, even on the days you really don't want to.
Exactly. Many people confuse self-discipline with raw willpower, but they're slightly different. Willpower is like a muscle, it can get tired. Self-discipline is more about building habits and systems so you don't have to rely on willpower all the time. It's the automatic pilot for success.
That's a great distinction, James. So how can our listeners, especially those working on their English, start building these habits? What's a good first step?
I always recommend starting incredibly small. The 2-minute rule is powerful. If your goal is to study English for an hour every day, maybe start with just 2 minutes. Make it so easy that you can't say no. Just 2 minutes of listening to an English podcast or reading a sentence.
I agree. The concept of micro-habits is powerful. For example, instead of saying, I'll read an English book every day, try, I'll read one sentence of an English book every day. It's less intimidating, and it builds the habit of actually opening the book.
And once you consistently do that one sentence, it's much easier to gradually increase it to a paragraph, then a page, and so on. It's about building momentum and proving to yourself that you can do it.
Another critical aspect is understanding your why. Why do you want to learn English? Is it for a better job? To travel? To connect with more people? To enjoy English movies without subtitles? When your why is strong and emotional, it provides a powerful foundation for your self-discipline. As Jim Rohn said, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment.
That's so true. Your why is your fuel. If you're struggling to stick to your study schedule, reminding yourself of that ultimate compelling goal can be incredibly motivating. Write it down, put it where you can see it.
What about dealing with distractions, guys? That's a huge barrier to self-discipline for many people, especially with our phones always buzzing.
Distractions. They're the silent assassins of productivity. One simple but incredibly effective strategy is to create a dedicated, distraction-free study environment. Turn off notifications. Put your phone in another room or even on airplane mode, and make sure your study space is clean and organized. Treat it like a sacred space for learning.
Absolutely. And beyond the physical environment, it's also about managing your mental distractions. If you find yourself procrastinating, acknowledge it without judgment, but then gently guide yourself back to the task at hand. Maybe even set a timer for focused work. The Pomodoro technique is fantastic for this. 25 minutes of focused work, then a 5-minute break.
Speaking of burnout and taking breaks, self-compassion is also vital for self-discipline. We're all going to have days where we slip up. The key is not to beat yourself up, but to acknowledge the lapse, learn from it, and get back on track the very next day. Don't let one missed session derail your entire journey.
Exactly. It's about progress, not perfection. If you miss a day, don't throw in the towel. Just pick up where you left off. The act of returning after a stumble is a powerful act of self-discipline in itself.
Another practical tip is to schedule your English learning sessions like important appointments. Put them in your calendar with specific times and durations, and treat them with the same importance as a work meeting or a doctor's appointment.
That's a brilliant strategy, James. It helps create a sense of commitment. And linked to that, finding an accountability partner can be incredibly powerful. Someone who also wants to improve their English, and you can check in with each other daily or weekly.
Excited. Oh, I love that idea. Knowing someone is expecting you to show up, even if it's just for a quick chat in English, can be a huge motivator. It adds a layer of positive external pressure that complements your internal discipline.
It creates a positive peer pressure, which can really boost your self-discipline. And remember to celebrate your small wins. Every time you stick to your plan, even if it's just for 10 minutes, acknowledge it, pat yourself on the back. This positive reinforcement makes the process feel rewarding.
So, to summarize, we've talked about starting small, understanding your why, managing distractions, practicing self-compassion, scheduling your sessions, celebrating small wins, and finding an accountability partner. That's a comprehensive toolkit.
And remember, it's a skill that develops over time. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. Just like learning English. Each time you choose discipline over ease, you're strengthening that self-discipline muscle.
Fantastic discussion, guys. And speaking of practice and building skills, sometimes a complete change of environment can supercharge your learning and discipline.
Absolutely. Which leads us perfectly into a special segment we've prepared.
That's right. Before we move to our closing thoughts, our language immersion guru Maria has prepared a special recommendation for all of you. She'll be sharing how a strategic trip can be the ultimate accelerator for your English journey. So, stay tuned for Maria's travel tip.
Hello, Speak English Journey listeners. This is Maria, your language immersion guru. We've been talking all about self-discipline, and one of the most effective ways to truly commit to your English learning goals is by immersing yourself in an English-speaking environment. For our intermediate English learners out there, a language learning trip can be a game changer. It forces you to use the language every single day in real-life situations, building confidence and accelerating your progress in ways that classroom learning alone can't. My recommendation for an intermediate English learner looking to boost their self-discipline and fluency: consider a 1 to 2 week language course in a vibrant city like Dublin, Ireland, or Edinburgh, Scotland. Why these cities? 1. Immense environment. You'll be surrounded by native English speakers constantly. From ordering coffee to asking for directions, you'll be speaking English all day, every day. 2. Language schools. Both cities offer excellent language schools with programs specifically designed for intermediate learners. These structured classes will provide a disciplined learning environment. 3. Cultural richness. Beyond the classroom, you'll be immersed in rich culture, history, and friendly locals. This gives you plenty of natural opportunities to practice your English in authentic, enjoyable contexts, whether it's discussing history at a museum or chatting with locals in a pub. 4. For intermediate learners, a 1 to 2 week trip is long enough to make significant progress, but not so long that it becomes overwhelming. It's a focused burst of immersion. How to make it effective for self-discipline. Clear goals before you go. Don't just show up. Before your trip, decide what specific English skills you want to improve. Example, confidently order food, participate in group discussions, understand local accents. Minimize if your native language. Challenge yourself to speak only English even when you're tempted to revert to your first language. This is where real discipline kicks in. Minimize with locals. Don't just stick to your classmates. Strike up conversations with shopkeepers, bus drivers, and people in cafes. These interactions are invaluable for real-world practice. Bi-language journal. Document new vocabulary, phrases, and any challenges you face. This daily reflection reinforces your learning and helps you track your progress. A language trip isn't just a vacation. It's an intense, focused period of self-discipline in action. It's an investment in yourself and your English journey. Give it a try and watch your self-discipline and fluency soar. Back to you, James, Rose, and Mark.
Wow, thanks, Maria. That was a truly inspiring travel tip. A language immersion trip definitely sounds like an incredible way to put self-discipline into practice.
Absolutely. Maria always delivers such practical and exciting advice. Well, that brings us to the end of another packed episode of Speak English Journey. James, Mark, what are your final takeaways for our listeners regarding self-discipline?
My main message is embrace the uncomfortable. Self-discipline often means doing things you don't feel like doing, but it's in that discomfort that growth happens. Push through even for a few minutes and you'll build incredible momentum. Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love it.
My final takeaway is consistency trumps intensity. It's not about studying for 5 hours one day and nothing for a week. It's about showing up consistently, even for short periods, every single day. Those small, consistent efforts compound into massive success.
And for me, it's about persistence and patience. Building self-discipline is a marathon, not a sprint. There will be good days and bad days. Embrace the process. Be kind to yourself when you stumble, and celebrate every step you take towards your English learning goals.
Fantastic advice, everyone. Remember, the more self-discipline you cultivate, the more consistent you'll be with your English studies, and the faster you'll see amazing, tangible progress.
Exactly. So thank you all so much for joining us today on Speak English Journey. We hope this conversation has given you some valuable tools and inspiration to strengthen your self-discipline and achieve your dreams.
We'll be back next time with another engaging topic to help you on your English learning adventure. Until then, keep practicing, keep learning, and keep building that self-discipline.
Goodbye for now, everyone.
See you next time.